a dangerous side. Like, legitimately dangerous. At some point or another, we've all been told not to eat raw cookie dough. Maybe that warning came from your mom. Maybe as a tot you were perusing the FDA website. Either way, those warnings are coming for two main reasons. First, the presence of raw eggs, a potential hazard due to the risk of salmonella. But also, cookie dough contains raw flour, a potentially harmful ingredient due to the risks of E. coli contamination. And yet, people just don't care. We eat a bunch of it all the time, and practically every ice cream brand under the sun sells some version of cookie dough ice cream. As all of you cookie dough aficionados out there already know, and if the hashtag GGLive is any indication, a truly shocking number of you theorists are cookie dough aficionados, the ingredients in edible cookie dough leave out egg, and usually pasteurize the pesky E. coli. Pasteurization is basically just a fancy schmancy word for heat it up just enough to destroy bad bacteria. The thing is though, cookie dough at its basic level just doesn't have that many ingredients, so at what point of removing ingredients, heating them up, and compressing them into little pellets does cookie dough stop being actual cookie dough? Does the stuff that we see in ice cream, as well as these weird egg dough bowl products, actually qualify as cookie dough? Well, it seems to me that the point at which something stops being cookie dough is the point at which you no longer get a cookie when you bake it. So there's only one thing to do if we want to know whether cookie dough ice cream contains actual cookie dough. We have to bake ourselves some cookies.
Today we're testing one of our sweetest theories ever. Can you bake cookies using cookie dough ice cream?
So honestly, this one's pretty self-explanatory. There's a bunch of cookie dough and ice cream. Can you actually use it to make cookies?
We're gonna pick out all the little pieces of cookie dough from all of this ice cream and then put it in the oven and see if we get a cookie.
Step one, extract cookie dough, make cookies out of it. Boom. We're actually not the first to do that experiment, so we're just doing that to show you that it's possible. But then step two is going one step further. Not just showing that you can make cookies using the dough inside of ice cream, but which one has the most dough, and also which one has the highest quality dough. Because I can assure you that, Edie's slow-churned cookie dough is not going to yield the same results as Edie's slow-churned cookie dough.
We have others here, I swear.
Matt, why did you buy 2 of these? Apparently we have double the amount of cookie dough that we have to get through, so let's hop into this. Well, the oven's preheating. Let's do a little background research on chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Though it's ranked as a top 10 flavor here in the States, it actually didn't get sold as a consumer product until the 1990s, which is funny considering that pre-made cookie dough has been around since the 1950s. The concept was first suggested to Ben & Jerry's by a fan in 1984. The company tested the idea out by simply mixing raw cookie dough into their vanilla ice cream at a scoop shop. The idea was a success and it hit store shelves in 1991. Just 1 year later, 1992, chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream accounted for a whopping 20% of Ben & Jerry's ice cream sales. Cue every other ice cream brand on the planet launching their own version. Until today, when you practically trip over this ice cream flavor in every supermarket. The edible dough used in the ice cream is safe to eat without eggs, sometimes without flour, and sometimes heated to 140 to 158 degrees Fahrenheit for pasteurization. That said, we already know from our episode on boxed cake mixes that you don't need eggs for a lot of baking, so maybe we'll find out that the cookie dough inside of ice cream is similar. Or, maybe we'll run into other problems. So it's interesting, as you're spinning this around in here, I'm seeing a lot of chocolate chips. I'm not seeing a lot of dough. The actual dough content is shockingly lacking. This is cookie dough, right? Edie's slow-churned cookie dough.
There's very little cookie dough
There's
going
nothing
on
in here. Hold up, friends. Did the cookie dough melt? Yeah, our quote-unquote cookie dough turned out not to have a long shelf life in a melty vat of ice cream. We found that in almost every carton, the dough had become one with the ice cream.
If it's actual cookie dough, it shouldn't be able to melt like ice cream. Cookie dough is a solid at room temperature. That doesn't make any sense.
It is a solid at room temperature, isn't it? So why would it melt? Is that just like it has a high oil content?
I think so. These are apparently not solid at room temperature. I think that they weren't made with real butter. I mean, egg is a binding agent. So if it's missing egg, frostbite. So if it's missing egg, honestly, it's gonna have trouble.
Even though we could explain it with science after the fact, it was still definitely an unexpected setback. That meant that the only path forward was one full of uncomfortable footage of us sifting through ice cream and giving ourselves frostbite.
So this is gonna take longer than we thought.
Yeah, we gotta pick this out individually. We'll see you in a couple hours. This is something that was suggested to us on Reddit. Thanks, Reddit. Matt, do you eat raw cookie dough? He does.
Of course.
What
kind of monster doesn't eat cookie dough?
I'm always nervous to eat raw cookie dough. My mom scared me straight. She taught me right.
My mom made me scared of escalators. My fingers are burning.
Your fingers already don't have a lot of circulation.
I know, this did not help. This is HT, the old Harris Teeter.
So if you know past food theory episodes, you know that HT is coming in with a high bar of excellence. Represent for generics, HT. Let's see how you do.
Oh no! Why is this channel so gross?
So much for this one being a quick shoot. We're like, oh yeah, we'll be in and out of this one in no time.
This will be fine.
Little did we suspect that the dough would melt at room temperature.
Which already says that this is like pretty far off of actual cookie dough.
It's already pretty sussy, gotta say.
At the beginning of filming, I actually went on a bit of a rant about how we bought way too much ice cream for this experiment.
This is a legitimate question for Matt. Here, let me move my microphone to him. Matt, why are we doing it? Why did you buy 2 of these?
But all of those backup cartons actually ended up being the saving grace of the episode. There's no egg on my face or in the dough that we extracted from the ice cream. Thank you very much. So Steph and I taste tested each carton.
I love ice cream. Ice cream makes me so happy.
Then manually plucked the cookie dough out of each partially frozen ice cream container.
So there you have it, friends. You buy a half gallon of Edie's ice cream, and this is about as much as you get when it comes to cookie dough.
Come on, that's a couple of tablespoons, maybe.
After like an hour of chilly plucking, we finally had the cookie dough that we needed to carry out some tests between the chocolate chip cookie dough ice creams of 3 top-selling ice cream brands: Ben & Jerry's, Edie's, and Breyers, a smaller national brand Mayfield, as well as Food Theory's own favorite private label underdog, which also happens to be available in our area, Harris Teeter.
So after much painstaking extraction, we finally have all our cookie dough out of the ice cream. Our fingers have sufficiently warmed back to regular status, and we're ready to compare. And immediately you can see the size difference with each amount of cookie dough, right? You have Breyers over here. It's got a hefty handful of whatever cookie dough thing is inside of it, whereas you got like all natural store brand over here.
HT, come on, man.
Not even filling the bottom of the cup. Ben & Jerry's also strong showing with huge pieces, even though you're drawing from a smaller overall amount of ice cream. The question I have though is, how does this compare with what a traditional cookie looks like? Stephanie actually has real cookie dough that we're gonna be comparing all of these against, and